Let's go down to Kokomo.
Day 94. Sunday, the 17th of January. New Orleans, Louisiana. It's 10 to 5 in the morning, and I'm debating about making this post about eating copious amounts of dry Frosties, or Zucaritas, as my Mexican-bought box are known. So much so that the roof of my mouth is now full of tiny cuts, and my roommates are plotting my murder from all the hours of crunching. Or writing about my love of snooker. I'm not sure if it's a disappointment or not, but the snooker won. The Frosties' tales will have to wait for another quiet news day. Anyway, today is the final of the Masters Snooker, held at Alexandra Palace in London, with the legend that is the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan, taking on Barry, the Hawk, Hawkins. I've always loved watching snooker on TV. I'm sure I've said it in an earlier post, but yes, I know that I'm weird, and I'm okay with it. A few years back, when I was living with Hayley Turner, the jockey, and she was doing lots of press things and getting lots of invites, I asked her to get us some tickets to the snooker if possible, as she also enjoyed watching it at home. Next thing you know, we stood in the VIP entrance to Wembley Arena, former home of the Masters Snooker, collecting our complimentary tickets courtesy of Hayley and the Sun newspaper. Thanks so much, by the way. We had exceptionally good seats, just next to Mark Selby's wife, and Julie watched him claim the crown in the final frame of the final of the Masters Snooker, against none other than Ronnie O'Sullivan. It was an epic match, an astounding comeback from Selby, and an all-round classic that will be talked about for years to come. Having dashed into central London and treated ourselves to a delicious supper of sushi and champagne in Zuma between the afternoon and evening sessions, we were already on a high. Whilst taking our seats for the start of the evening frames, we bumped into a friend I'd worked with out in America and her jockey boyfriend. It turns out they had some friends who were high up in the snooker world and into racing, so had backstage passes to the players' lounge. They insisted that we go along to join them, as everyone would love to meet Hayley, and I was welcome as her +1. The next thing you know, we're backstage with the who's who of snooker, including John Virgo, John Parrott, and the snooker supremo himself, the great Barry Hearn. I was blown away and wanted to ask heaps of idiotic questions, but we spent most of the time answering questions about racing, as the guys were just as fascinated to meet us as we were them. By chance, Hayley and I had booked into the same hotel as everyone just next door, so got caught up in the whole after party, including the new champion Mark Selby and the famous Dutch referee Jan Verhaas. We had the best night, including a very funny moment in a revolving door, which I'll leave Hayley to tell in her own book one day. And the next morning in the elevator, bumped into John Virgo and his lovely wife Rosie once more, and ended up offering to help jumpstart their car as their battery was flat. After that first fantastic experience, I thought that we'd been spoiled, and we'd never have another night watching the boys on the bays like it. I was wrong. We've had some of the best nights out ever at the snooker, and are now firm friends with the greatest, friendliest bunch of snooker guys that you could wish to meet. We've had some top nights at the UK Championships in York, where the after party is held in a super sports bar just across the street, and I got to chat with the unbelievable great Stephen Hendry. I listened to Mark Selby sing the most amazing karaoke after winning the Worlds in Sheffield, with Iron Maiden's very own Nico McBrain on the drums, and even met Ronnie O'Sullivan up close and personal at some fantastic snooker legends nights in Coventry and Southend-on-Sea. The guy is just unreal. He can play snooker that other people can't even begin to imagine is possible, and is a complete enigma to boot. So talented, but almost embarrassed by his great skill and superiority at the table. There are plenty of behind-the-scenes guys who've done so much to make us feel welcome at their beautiful sport, and this week I actually felt like I was missing out on something for the first time, not being able to meet up with Les and Lynn, plus Darren, Nigel, Pete, walk-on guy Rob Walker, and some of the wonderful referees such as Paul and Brendan. I guess I wouldn't trade where I am right now to be back home permanently at this stage. But sure as anything, I'll be checking the internet regularly for updates. And if anyone out there wishes to Sky Plus the superb and magnetising BBC coverage, I'll be grateful forever. And that's all for day 94. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in for day 95's antics tomorrow. Same time, same place. Well, not literally, because this ship never stops. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a day. And if you're enjoying it, like and share it too. Thank you!